So here is the ANT, or Audible Notification Testing app. So there's a menu up here. You've got facility options, inspection options. You can clear inspection data or clear all data. Up here on the top right, there's a key. Shows you the different pin types that'll go on a map. And to the right of that is your inspection settings. You can put in your initials. For testers, you'll see how that's used later. Decibel input source and required tests. Save that. Let's start a new facility and we'll call this Noble Elementary. Address here, contact none, and save. Alright, once I've created the facility, I'm going to add a building. Call the main building. Give it M as a abbreviation. Then I can go into the building, add a floor. This will just have one floor. We'll call it the main floor. And if I click on the menu here, I can rename it, upload a mapped image, or if I just click it and there's no map image, it'll come up with photos to add the map image here. So I'm going to search here for blueprint just to bring something into it. So I'll go with this one. Now it asks you to calibrate the floor plan. So what we need to do is scale this map image so that all the rooms or the icons show up the same size. So I just need to highlight a typical office or classroom for a building that we're testing. That scales the map. Now I can zoom and pan the map. If I click plus down here on the bottom right, I can add pins for speakers, decibel test locations, intercom phones, speaker and call button, outdoor speaker or equipment. So let's add some hallway speakers here. This is the 1500 hall. So I'm going to tap to add a speaker here. I'll call this 1500 hall. Now I can add a single one by clicking place pin or place multiple at this name. So I'm going to click place multiple, and I can go down and click and add pins for all the hallway speakers on this hallway. Click finished. Now when I go around testing, I would click the speaker. It comes up with a testing screen. In the settings here on the top right, there's the required tests. So when I click in here, the required tests are outlined in red. So for this speaker test, I'm required an audible test to have this test complete. So here I'm doing an ear test. I'm going to say that passed. I'm going to say visual, passed, close it. So we've got a green speaker there. This speaker will say it wasn't making any audio, it failed. I can add a note, no sound. Now that one is red and it shows up on our failed pins list. See, here's another one. We'll say it passes that, but visual fails, and I can put the ceiling tile cracked. And then I can add a photo. Take a picture. And I've tagged it with a photo. So now you'll see that icon has a little photo, a little camera tag on it, which is up on the key here. So you can go around, populate a school with pins, and then go around and test. The collaborative function of this is over here. You can merge testing sessions. So if I go through here and test this stuff, I can export this facility, and somebody else can do this hallway, somebody else can do this hallway, and then they would export their inspection. Oh, not the inspection, sorry. You'd go to the merge sessions. They would export their sessions, and then I would import them in here, and it would bring in all the data into one map. If I tap and hold on a pin, we can rename, relocate, clear the test data, or delete it. So I need to put that one on the other side of those doors. Let's relocate it to there. Let's see, let's add a speaker and call button in this room, 1507. Place that pin. When I go to test that one, I have also the call button required test here. Say that's functional. Acoustic passes, and we'll say I test talk back. That passed, even though I didn't require it. The map jumped there. I've got to troubleshoot that. So let me go clear the test data on that one and show you what an unfinished test is. So that speaker worked. I didn't test the call button in there. That's now orange, and it shows up on the unfinished pins here. So I know that one got partially tested, but we need to go back to it. We can add a decibel test location. Let's say we want to check every hallway. $1,500 hall. So this pin is just for a test and any notes. Now, if we're doing decibel testing, we can calibrate the microphone if you have an external decibel reader. I could use the phone microphone, calibrate it, do a testing, and then I could put in that was 72 decibels on my handheld meter. And now I've calibrated the microphone on my device. So I go in here. If we have a test tone playing, I can start measuring, and then it's going to take that decibel reading, stop measuring, and then it automatically passes or fails this pin based on our settings up here, which our pass-fail threshold is 85 decibels. You can also select external decibel meter, in which case all these would default to this setting once we go into them, and we just set what our reading was on our handheld meter. And that's the basics of it.